All right, so this is gonna be our official like radio podcast show. This is me, Tony, aka Rain Man. This is one of my good friends, Kitty, and we are going to talk about certain spiritual experiences throughout different periods of our life. My very very distinctive spiritual awakening began somewhat like this. I I was hanging out with my friend Ozzy. We were kind of chilling, tripping. We ate a bunch of acid, and we watched a very, very interesting cartoon. Um, the cartoon, I forget the exact name of it, but it was a French cartoon made in the 1970s, I believe.
Fantastic Voyage.
Yes. How the fuck did you know, dude?
Because we've seen it.
Wait, because yeah, I think
It's a Fantastic Planet, is that, or
Yes.
Le Voyage
Yeah,
Fantastique.
Fantastic Planet.
yes.
We watched Fantastic Planet in the ball pit on the projector.
Oh, yeah,
Damn.
dude. I saw the
so
picture of the
pretty
slide.
much
It was a video, right?
I ate a bunch of acid.
slide
I
that
watched
goes into the
movie,
rainbow
and,
ball
we had this
pit.
conversation,
I need one.
and basically
Oh, I
friend
loved
said,
it when I saw it.
You know, we as human beings are basically a mind aspect of like another creature. Like, think of a school of jellyfish. They say like jellyfishes don't have brains, but when a shark comes next to jellyfish, they all know it as an entire.
I saw
species.
someone giving away free shark
basically
and
move around.
Craigslist. With a tank too, but
And
someone needed
so
to come and get the
supposedly
shark
there's
with a
creature
net, a
that
big
uses
net,
us
and
as
their own tank.
memory units or like parts of its brain.
They never got back to
And then
me.
we started talking about this and how I don't know. We were out acid and it was fucking awesome. Anyways, so he kind of imparted this idea that humans might not be like the biggest and baddest like thing on the food chain. And as we were
Gee, what
talking
a
about
surprise.
this, yeah, I know it was actually quite surprising because up until this point in my life, like I don't know, I thought humans were pretty fucking awesome. So after this period of my life, well, actually the same night, I felt like this thing grow in the back of my neck, like very difficult to describe, but like when you close your eyes and you have closed eyes visuals, kind of like that. It looked like a root or like some kind of like organic life form. Like I could even feel it grow in the back of my neck. Like it was fucking crazy. Like I didn't really know what to do. And then pretty much the next day after waking from this acid trip, like everything like lined up like in ridiculous ways. Like I would watch a movie and somebody would show up like almost exactly like that. Like if I saw like some pretty chick in a movie, like if I wanted to see a blonde, like within like sometimes days, hours, and minutes, she would show up in my life. During the movie, she would mention like a food, a smell, a spice, a color, a dress, and then when she'd show up in my life, she would mention all of these things like in real time. Same thing like if I wanted to talk to, let's say like an investment banker or something, like I'd watch The Wolf of Wall Street. And somebody like that would show up in my life like within days.
You know, it's really interesting that you mentioned that because that's in what is known as they're called magical thinking. That's what's known as manifestation, where you think of something and ta-da, it appears. So the thought that we might be just thought forms of another creature or thought forms in general, well, yeah, that kind of plays along with it.
Okay. The next big changes in my life, I would drive down the highway and I'd look at cars and I would just be thinking about like daily routines, like what I'd do, like what I'd do next, like where I'd go work, where I'd go party, like blah blah blah. And then I would look at cars and I would assign like values or like ideas to cars. For example, like an accurate was like an accurate answer. A trailblazer was like a rugged mountain climber. A Ford Explorer would be something the same. Let's see, a Volkswagen Beetle or like a Mini Cooper would be like, I don't know, like a girl I was gonna see and like et cetera, et cetera. And for months and months and months, I would tally up cars in my head like somebody would count cars, and these cars would appear in my life, distinctively. And not only that, the distance between the vehicles would measure my reaction time, would measure my mood, would measure my feelings. I don't know. It was really difficult to explain. I pretty much was under the assumption that I was dealing with like beings with reality bending power. Like I would look at these things and they would basically calibrate my eyes. After a few months of doing this, whenever I look at like a computer screen, I would basically speed read. I would look at words like really, really fast. Like my eyes can move like very, very fast in my head. I don't know if you can kind of see.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
And like I would read words and it wouldn't be an entire word. Like the word peace, I would see the word PEA and then the letter C and then the letter E. I mean, I could go on and on and on.
You
Like
start to form different words from the words that you're saying.
exactly. So I'd be able to like speed read like you know, very quickly, and then I would have like certain thoughts, and then the words on the screen would answer them. Like I don't know, like how should I best explain it? If I thought about, I don't know, like where I was from or like my family history, if I would have thought about food or like you know, et cetera, like these things would, I mean, they could see through my eyes. I'd write in a notebook, like I'd ask them questions like who made us, like and then who are you, and then like they would avoid questions of like where they were from or like who they were, like etc. But like they were more interested in looking at me. They could go through my dreams, they could go through my memories, and they would be able to tell if I had a real dream or if I had an imagination, or if I saw something in a movie. Like let's say if I imagined a car chase, like they'd be like, oh no, you saw that on TV. But then if I imagine myself doing something else reckless, like, I don't know, shooting at a scuba tank with a 12-gauge shotgun, like, in the country, like, in the middle of a field, and then like, damn, you actually did that shit was awesome. Like, you know, like, shit like that. They basically went through my entire life, and then they tried to build, like, a personality profile for me. There was, like, very distinctive characters. Like I said, there was a British psychiatrist. Sometimes if I'd scream at the British psychiatrist, there would be like this dude that sound like a big black jail guard, and he'd be like, oh, blah, 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 like, you're fresh, like, you're here, like, I want you, blah, 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 and then, like, to kind of try to, like, scare me, like, disgust me, or, like, intimidate me. And then there would be, like, you know, let's see, what's another distinctive one? Some of them were, like, really, like, stalkerish. Some of them were, like, I'd be like, alright, if you really want to meet me, like, come down and meet me in real life. Basically, a lot of the voices said they were part of an NSA remote neural monitoring program. I know this is starting to sound a little, you know, conspiracy-like. So I don't think DMT lasts for like months. Like this has been happening in my life for like a year, like 1.5 to 2 years.
No, but you have to keep in mind that with certain exercises, like it's known in yoga techniques, your pineal gland kind of works more, and that's where DMT is produced in the brain. So you might have some of those effects necessarily from a so-called awakening.
So you think like it's permanent? Like they're gonna talk to me like my entire life? Because like literally now I sleep under a fucking.
Yeah.
Like, I ordered a.
Well, why do you think it's like NS? Why do you think it is who it is, and why do you? Why would it go to that route? Because I was totally with you, and I feel you on all the aspects of channeling and feeling different energies. Because I'm right there, but there is no anything that is angry or above me or like that. It's more like I feel connected to it as a higher self, rather than a threat.
Okay, so far.
Dude, hold on.
Alright,
it's been like really hard.
I'll wait for her to come back and I kind of listen.
Well, let me interject in the meantime. I can tell you, even in the Bible, it's like it says,
I don't know if you should
that's
like,
the spirits.
you know, ignore the voices
they
or
will lie.
like listen to the voices all the
keep in
time.
mind, you have to
Because I mean, like his friends that heard voices have told him to
creative
ignore them, and then kept telling him,
coming up
and
with
before and after.
with the rational mind,
know.
the amount of brain power it would
Some
take
of it can be
to
nasty stuff, and
deal
some of
with
it is,
monitoring
you know, surprisingly,
a massive
kind of
amount of population. It would be
scaringly
about 1-to-1
okay,
ratio.
but I don't know
And they
if
don't
I
have that
should
many
trust
agents.
them from what I've heard them saying.
Alicia, I want to better answer your question before I forget.
Okay.
I don't really know all the
so
words,
yeah,
but
back to this channeling stuff. Just to kind of fill you in, man. We're conducting a little interview.
If you want to be on camera.
About hallucinogens, remote viewing, the national government, and channeling spirits. So if you hear anything like crazy or strange, like, you know, it is what it is.
if you'd like to be on video, if someone else would like to record this video.
It'd be great.